woke up around midnight to my water breaking. About an hour later, I started having contractions. I kind of drifted back to sleep between contractions, so didn't really sleep that much. And then when they got up around 6, I was still laying on the couch resting, and since then they have just picked up a lot. They're tolerable, but I do have to breathe through them, and they're really, really close. So I wasn't expecting them to be this close, this fast.
You want to try to get to the bed?
Want to try to get to that? It's up to you. We can stay right here.
Yeah, let's try.
Try to go?
You gonna make it in that hole?
We're working hard to get it, but it's not looking like it. She's here.
Hey, I love you. I love you so much. Hey.
Look at it.
Hey, sweetie.
There we go. Hi everyone, my name is Legacy. Today we are interviewing Amy Harris, who is one of our moms who gave birth on our channel. She had a home birth where she delivered on her hands and her knees, which is a position that alleviates back pain and pressure on the spine. You are watching Legacy Birth, where we share educational birth videos to empower you about birth. Today, she's going to be on the show. We're going to dive in deeper about her previous pregnancies, as well as what gave her the encouragement to deliver at home at 41 weeks. So without further ado, let's welcome Amy Harris. Hi. For someone who just had a baby 3 weeks ago, you are actually glowing. You look great.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel awesome. It was hard to stay still and rest, even after like week 1.
Wow. So you delivered your previous baby at 41 weeks and 3 days at a hospital birth.
Yes.
So what about that birth made you decide to have a home birth this time around?
Pretty much every bit of it. I was forced to induce, not barely by my choice. It was a long drawn out conversation, and they pretty much guilted me into it. So I was induced. I was put on the Pitocin and just knew I didn't want the epidural. I just was working through the Pitocin contractions, but knew there had to be an easier way to birth. And I had not really looked into home birth. I went into that birth knowing I wanted to do unmedicated as much as possible, intervention free, but knowing that when you're in a hospital, you're going to have interventions mentioned to you and pushed towards you much more than you would at a home birth or in a birth center. So I just being in that birth setting for it was really long. It was 77 hours in total.
Wow.
3 days of it was before my son even arrived. So we were there 3 days just in the room laboring through Pitocin contractions. So it was pretty intense. So I just knew there had to be a better way to birth, which led me to looking into home birth and little interventions as possible birth, as well as an unmedicated birth this time around.
Awesome. And this time you delivered at 41 weeks and how many days?
1 day.
One day.
She picked her own birthday, whereas in my son, we kind of forced him to come along.
It's amazing how you delivered both at 41 weeks. Though.
Yes, it is. I figure he would have come on his own probably in the next couple of days if we had waited, but seeing when she came, so around 41 weeks. Yes.
In your previous video, you actually said that your baby is going to come within the Lord's timing.
Yes.
Yes. So why do you feel that it's not necessary to have an induction in your pregnancies?
Being low risk, talking with my midwife, and I also had an OB, knowing that I didn't have any complications. I felt great through the whole pregnancy. The baby was fine, placenta, everything was fine. I knew I didn't want to induce again. There was really no need. I just wanted to let her pick her own birthday. And I know that when you let the babies come on their own, you're less likely to have complications in the birth. So
she's so cute.
Thank
You're doing great at multitasking.
Thank you.
You delivered at 41 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Were there any complications that came up when you were getting closer to the 42-week mark? Were you getting nervous at all?
Not really. We had planned to go in for a sonogram at 42 weeks. I'd only had one sonogram the entire pregnancy. So we had very minimal
Wow.
sonograms. And just to make sure everything was okay, we were going to have one at 42 weeks, which was the following week, but we never made it to that point. So we were just going to check on everything. But I really had no fears or concerns. Like I said, I had such a peace about it with God and that everything was going to be okay. So I'm glad we didn't have to even get to that point. So
Yes, I love your boldness and your confidence within yourself. If you were talking to a mom who is experiencing the same thing, she wants to have a home birth, but she's nearing 42 weeks, what words of encouragement could you give her?
I would just tell her that her body knows when the time is right for her baby to come, and not to trust your body, trust your body's intuition to birth your baby. Some babies don't come at 42 weeks. I read many stories of 43-week babies, just trying to prepare my mind for the length of time that I could possibly be pregnant. So just remind other moms that your body's got this. You know, it knows when the baby is ready to come. There could be something, the baby could be getting in a proper position, and it might not be right at 42 weeks. You might need to give it a couple more days for your baby to get into the optimal position to have a smooth labor and delivery. So just to trust your
Yes.
body and know that it knows when the time is right, and nobody has ever been pregnant forever. So just
That
remind
is a
yourself of that.
good one. I love that. And she did come in perfect timing, and your water broke at midnight. Very, very
Yes.
exciting.
On the dot. It was crazy.
It was so exciting to watch and actually see that your labor was progressing pretty fast. I mean, it was, if you count from midnight, it's pretty
Yeah.
standard time, but
Mhm.
active labor, it was pretty
Yes.
fast, right?
Yes. I was just planning to be laboring like that, the slow pace, 10 to 12-minute contractions for the next 12 hours, just from what happened with my previous birth. And my husband was as well. He was in total shock when he realized at like 8 o'clock that I was probably I was going through transition. We think. I never actually got checked, but I started having some shivers and stuff and all the indications of transition. And it hit his mind that, wow, you're in really active labor. Our midwives might not even get here. So yes, the active labor was very, very fast, much faster than my last one.
Yes, you were actually planning to go in the water, correct?
I was, yes.
Yes.
The birth pool was here and being set up, but it never got filled. Unfortunately.
She came in the Lord's timing.
Yes, exactly.
And did you like delivering on your hands and knees?
I much preferred that versus
Oh,
my hospital
wow.
birth. Yes.
Yes.
I wanted to deliver in the water. I had watched so many water births on YouTube and
Yeah.
listened to a lot of water birth stories and loved the idea. But looking back, my midwife said that the water might have potentially slowed down my labor. And I've heard stories of that, where if you get in the water, it relaxes you so much, it slows
Yes.
down the labor, and she might not have gotten here as fast. So I was happy with how it turned out. And I did enjoy, prefer it on my hands, on my all fours versus laying down flat like I was in the hospital.
Definitely, definitely. So you had a very fast labor and delivery, but you also eat very healthy.
Mhm.
So what was your diet like during pregnancy?
Pretty much, I eat the same pregnant versus not pregnant. I eat a lot of, it didn't really change much. I just eat more when I'm pregnant. Just as clean as possible. I read every ingredient. I'm very picky about the ingredient labels, and I've been very passionate about sharing that information with my family and helping some of them heal naturally with food. So just, I eat as clean as possible, as whole food based as possible. We purchase all of our, we do still eat meats, but we purchase it all grass fed. So it's as clean and sustainably raised as possible. And then I have a superfood regimen that I do through a company that I am partnered with. I have some videos on that, but it's called Purium. So I think that really helped in my pregnancy this time. It filled in a lot of the nutritional gaps that I think I was missing in my last pregnancy. Because I have some videos where I talk about, I had literally zero pregnancy cravings this whole pregnancy. And I think it was because I was really putting the vitamins and nutrients in my body that it was craving. So that's just my little philosophy between this pregnancy and last, because I did eat healthy in my last pregnancy, but nowhere near how I eat now. So
diet is really important. And
yes.
I noticed that you were even saying you didn't really have much pregnancy sickness as well.
No, I didn't have one.
Awesome. So
I mean, I think one time my husband made coffee and the smell made me a little nauseous, but I never got sick.
So where can everyone find you?
I have a YouTube channel that is the Harris Homestead. It's pretty new. It's within the last year. It's kind of been my little side project. And then I also have Instagram and Facebook under Harris Homestead.
Awesome. Well, it was such a pleasure having you on Legacy
Yes, thank
Birth.
you.
It's nice to meet you. You look
Nice to meet you
absolutely
too.
great.
Thank you.
And you're multitasking very well.
I'm glad she stayed asleep.
Yes, I'm wishing you an amazing postpartum experience.
Yes, thank you.
And we'll keep in contact on Instagram. And
Yes,
you will probably
awesome.
see this interview up by this week.
Oh,
Very
awesome.
soon.
I can't wait.
Yes.
Thank you.
That was fantastic. I'm so happy to meet Amy and really talk a lot more about her natural birth and her entire experience. And even though she delivered at 41 weeks, she still had a home birth, which is very, very inspiring to see. But she kept headstrong and she had the amazing home birth that she truly desired. She looks great. Her baby looks healthy and well. If you guys are new to this channel, our goal is to get to 21,000 subscribers in 2021. So if you're new to this channel, I want you to click that red juicy button down below. Down below, it says subscribe. It says subscribe. What we eat during our pregnancy is very, very vital and very, very important. So if you are looking for a pregnancy meal plan and a meal guide to help you deviate from different pregnancy cravings, our pregnancy meal guide on valubu.com is available. You can get it in the link in the description down below. If you use the code pregnancy, you can get 20% off your next purchase. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.